Tactical Wisdom to Conquering Your Enemies, by Lord Covert. Introduction. Purpose of the book. This book explores timeless wisdom, blending ancient teachings with modern strategies, to provide tactical insights on how to overcome your enemies. It is a master guide for mastering both external and internal challenges in personal and professional life. Who is Lord Covert? Lord Covert, the god of wealth and guardian of wisdom, is the god of strategic mastery. His teachings not only encompass material wealth but also extend to intellectual and emotional fortitude, essential for confronting and defeating enemies. Understanding enemies. Enemies are defined in a broad sense, encompassing external foes, internal struggles, and obstacles to growth. Understanding them is key to self-development, enhancing one's capacity to go through conflict and emerge victorious in life's battles. Chapter 1: The Nature of Enmity. Understanding your enemies. To fully grasp the essence of enmity, one must first understand the various forms it can take. Enemies are not always obvious, nor do they all present the same challenges. They can be divided into overt and covert enemies. Overt enemies are those who make their hostility clear. These are the people who openly oppose you, challenge your actions, and do not hide their dislike or competition. Their attacks are direct, and their intentions are relatively easy to spot. In contrast, covert enemies are far more dangerous due to their subtlety. These are individuals who may pretend to be friends or allies but harbor ill intentions. They operate in the shadows, manipulating situations to their advantage while pretending to support you. Covert enemies often hide behind false smiles and seemingly helpful gestures, making them harder to detect and even more difficult to confront. Enmity can also arise in both personal and professional contexts. Personal enemies might stem from jealousy, rivalry, or unresolved conflicts in relationships. Professional enemies, on the other hand, may see you as an obstacle to their success or a competitor they need to undermine to advance in their career. The psychology of enmity. To effectively navigate relationships with enemies, it is essential to understand their underlying motivations. Enmity rarely exists in a vacuum. It is usually fueled by emotions such as fear, jealousy, and competition. Fear can be a powerful motivator for enmity. When someone perceives you as a threat to their position, power, or sense of security, they may turn against you in an attempt to preserve what they fear losing. Fearful enemies can be unpredictable and act out of desperation, making them especially dangerous. Jealousy is another common driver of enmity. When others covet your success, talents, or personal qualities, they may feel resentful or bitter. Jealousy often leads to sabotage, gossip, and attempts to undermine your progress. This kind of enmity is deeply rooted in insecurity, where the enemy's dissatisfaction with their own life or abilities fuels their negative behavior towards you. Competition is perhaps the most widespread cause of enmity, especially in professional environments. When individuals are vying for the same goal, position, or recognition, rivalry can quickly escalate into hostility. Enemies driven by competition will often stop at nothing to ensure their own success, viewing you as nothing more than an obstacle to overcome. Recognizing enemy tactics. Enemies, both overt and covert, employ a variety of tactics to achieve their aims. It is crucial to be aware of these strategies in order to protect yourself and respond effectively. Overt enemies might use aggression, public attacks, or direct confrontation to challenge or discredit you. These are the enemies who spread rumors, openly criticize you, or attempt to embarrass you in front of others. They aim to weaken your confidence or reputation through open hostility. Covert enemies, however, are far more subtle in their approach. Their methods include manipulation, deception, and passive-aggressive behavior. They may plant seeds of doubt in the minds of others or slowly erode your credibility without ever appearing to be at fault. Covert enemies might act as though they are on your side, all the while working behind the scenes to ensure your downfall. By recognizing these enemy tactics, you can better defend yourself against their efforts. Whether the enmity is personal or professional, overt or covert, understanding the motivations and methods behind it is the first step toward effectively managing and ultimately overcoming the challenge of having enemies. Chapter 2: The Importance of Tactical Wisdom. What is tactical wisdom? Tactical wisdom is the ability to use sound judgment and strategic thinking in situations of conflict or competition. It involves carefully analyzing circumstances, anticipating challenges, and choosing the best course of action to achieve desired outcomes. Tactical wisdom goes beyond mere strength or aggression. It is the application of intelligence, foresight, and understanding to navigate complex situations effectively. In conflict, whether on the battlefield, in politics, or even in personal disputes, tactical wisdom is essential for success. It ensures that decisions are made with consideration of all possible outcomes and that actions are taken with precision and purpose. Definition and its relevance in conflict situations. The relevance of tactical wisdom in conflict is undeniable. It allows individuals or leaders to navigate adversarial situations with a calculated approach, avoiding rash decisions that may lead to failure. When dealing with enemies, whether literal or figurative, tactical wisdom means knowing when to engage, when to retreat, and when to act in unexpected ways to throw off opposition. It's about using every available resource, including patience, timing, and psychological insight, to turn the situation to one's advantage. Tactical wisdom means having a clear understanding of the situation, assessing the strengths and weaknesses of both sides, and adapting to the shifting dynamics of conflict. Throughout history, the most successful leaders and strategists have been those who demonstrated tactical wisdom. Sun Tzu, for example, in his renowned work The Art of War, emphasized the importance of knowing both oneself and one's enemy, claiming that this knowledge would lead to victory in battle. His teachings illustrate how deeply thought-out plans, deception, and the element of surprise can be more powerful than brute force. Similarly, Niccolò Machiavelli's political writings, particularly The Prince, delve into the necessity of cunning and foresight in the realm of leadership and power struggles. Machiavelli argued that a wise ruler must be willing to act immorally if necessary to maintain power and protect the state. Both Sun Tzu and Machiavelli understood that success often depends on an astute awareness of timing, psychology, and the ability to adapt one's strategy to changing circumstances. The role of intelligence in strategy. Intelligence gathering is a cornerstone of tactical wisdom. Whether in ancient warfare or modern-day conflicts, having accurate and comprehensive information about one's enemies is crucial for making informed decisions. Intelligence allows a strategist to predict an opponent's moves, uncover their weaknesses, and exploit opportunities. Without this information, even the most well-planned strategies can crumble under unforeseen circumstances. Sun Tzu famously said, "All warfare is based on deception." A critical part of this deception lies in knowing the enemy's intentions while keeping one's own plans hidden. The more knowledge one has about the enemy's resources, strengths, weaknesses, and plans, the more precisely they can form their tactics. Whether it's through spying, diplomacy, or subtle observation, gathering intelligence gives an upper hand in conflict, helping to outmaneuver and outthink the enemy at every step. In a world filled with sheep in wolf clothing, complex relationships, and varying motives, many individuals tend to frown upon the application of tactical wisdom in everyday life, particularly when it comes to dealing with adversaries. These individuals often espouse a philosophy of open honesty in direct communication, portraying themselves as morally superior. Don't be deceived, ironically, they are frequently the ones who employ these very strategies in subtle, behind-the-scenes ways, masking their true intentions with a facade of virtue. The hypocrisy in this behavior stems from a fundamental human trait, the desire to maintain a favorable self-image while manipulating situations to one's advantage. Those who criticize the use of tactical wisdom often do so to deflect attention from their own Machiavellian tendencies. They may use emotional appeals or moral superiority to cloud judgment and discredit those who advocate for strategic thinking. This creates a culture where tactical wisdom is demonized, even as it is secretly utilized. Understanding this dynamic is crucial. Recognizing that those who frown upon strategic thinking may be the same people employing it behind closed doors can empower you to navigate your interactions more wisely. The motives behind this hypocrisy are manifold. Some may genuinely believe that emotional honesty and direct confrontation are the only paths to resolution, while others may seek to maintain control over social narratives and power dynamics. By dismissing tactical wisdom, they attempt to create an environment where they can operate without challenge or scrutiny. The danger lies in allowing yourself to be deceived by this dissonance. It is vital to maintain a clear vision of your own principles and strategies, especially when faced with hypocrites and adversaries. Tactical wisdom is not inherently malicious, rather, it is a tool that, when applied judiciously, can lead to positive outcomes. The ability to assess situations critically and act strategically is a form of empowerment that can protect you from manipulation and betrayal. When dealing with adversaries, remember that clarity and strategy are your allies. Engaging with those who disapprove of tactical wisdom may require a delicate balance of honesty and cunning. While you may wish to approach others with transparency, be aware that not everyone shares the same values. Your willingness to navigate these complexities with strategic thinking can help you safeguard your interests while promoting a more balanced approach to conflict resolution. Maintaining this principle means staying true to your values without falling prey to the moral posturing of others. By doing so, you cultivate an inner strength that allows you to respond rather than react, ensuring that your decisions are informed by wisdom rather than emotional impulse. In the face of opposition or deceit, your strategic mindset will serve as a compass, guiding you toward effective resolutions and ensuring you do not lose sight of your goals or who you are. Recognize the importance of tactical wisdom in your interactions and remain steadfast in your principles. This awareness will empower you to navigate the complexities of human relationships with clarity, purpose, and resilience. Tactical wisdom is a vital aspect of success in any conflict. Its importance is seen through historical examples of great leaders and strategists, and it continues to be relevant today. Without intelligence and strategic thinking, no amount of brute strength or resources can guarantee victory. Tactical wisdom allows for the intelligent and calculated use of all available tools, leading to success where force alone might fail. Chapter 3: Preparing for Battle. Before stepping into any confrontation, it's essential to be fully prepared, both mentally and physically. This chapter lays out the foundational steps for how to strategically face your enemies, emphasizing self-awareness, careful planning, and efficient use of resources. Self-assessment. The first step in preparing for battle is understanding yourself. Self-assessment is key to gaining insight into both your strengths and weaknesses. You cannot effectively engage with your enemies if you do not have a clear understanding of your own capabilities. Take time to honestly evaluate your skills, character traits, and emotional tendencies. What do you excel at? What are your blind spots? This level of introspection will allow you to leverage your strengths effectively while being mindful of areas where you might be vulnerable. Often, people fail in battle not because their enemies are stronger, but because they overestimate themselves or ignore their limitations. Be thorough in your evaluation, as it will lay the groundwork for everything that follows. Strategic planning. Once you have a solid grasp of your own strengths and weaknesses, the next step is crafting a solid battle plan. Strategic planning means setting clear and attainable objectives for any confrontation. What are you hoping to achieve? What would a victory look like for you? Defining these goals will give you a direction and purpose during the battle. Without a clear plan, you risk becoming reactive, letting the enemy dictate the terms of engagement. Identify what you want to achieve in specific terms and outline the steps required to get there. This could involve understanding your enemy's motives, anticipating their moves, and mapping out different scenarios based on possible outcomes. Having a strategy not only provides focus but also a means of adjusting as the battle evolves. Resource management. Success in any battle doesn't just depend on your skills or strategy but also on how you manage your resources. Resources can take many forms: time, allies, information, and even energy. Each of these is limited, and the key to victory lies in how effectively you allocate them. Time is precious, and wasting it on unimportant distractions can be the difference between success and failure. Allies, whether they be friends or other supporters, must be carefully chosen and deployed. Information is one of the most valuable resources, as knowing your enemy's weaknesses or next moves can give you a decisive edge. Be efficient and deliberate with what you have. The right use of resources often makes the difference between a well-executed strategy and a battle lost due to poor judgment. In a time of growing unrest in the kingdom of Kshatrasagar, there lived a man named Dev. He was known for his humility and his devotion to his wife, Mira. Their life was simple but filled with joy, until the day a powerful and wealthy man named Viraj entered their world. Viraj, a man of great riches and unchecked arrogance, set his sights on Mira. Used to bending people to his will, Viraj abused his influence and wealth to forcibly take Mira away from Dev, claiming her as his own. The kingdom's laws and rulers, blinded by Viraj's wealth, turned a deaf ear to Dev's cries for justice. Heartbroken and enraged, Dev swore to fight with all his might to bring his wife back. But he knew that confronting Viraj directly, without thought or strategy, would likely lead to his defeat. In search of guidance, Dev made his way to the distant temple of Lord Covert, the god of wealth and strategic wisdom. It was said that Covert's counsel had led many men to victory over seemingly insurmountable odds. Dev, filled with both hope and fury, sought that same wisdom. Dev found Lord Covert seated in a quiet, serene part of the temple. With tears in his eyes, he shared his plight with the deity, explaining the theft of his beloved Mira and his burning desire to reclaim her. Covert listened silently, his eyes never leaving Dev's. After a long pause, the god spoke with calm authority. Dev, your desire to act is noble, but you must understand that this is not a battle of brute strength. Viraj's power lies not just in his wealth but in his cunning and control over those around him. If you rush into this unprepared, you will fail. But if you are wise, if you plan with clarity, you can defeat him. Let me show you the way. The first step, Dev, Covert said, is to understand yourself. You must assess your own strengths and weaknesses before engaging in battle. You are driven by love and a sense of righteousness, which are powerful allies. But you must also recognize your limits. Viraj is surrounded by guards, advisors, and those who fear him. You, on the other hand, stand alone. However, don't let this discourage you. Your strength lies in your clarity of purpose and the truth. Truth can be a sword sharper than any weapon. Dev reflected on these words. He realized that his passion for justice, his love for Mira, and his belief in doing what was right were indeed his greatest assets. But he also saw his impulsive desire for revenge as a potential weakness, one that could cloud his judgment. Strategic planning, my son, Covert said. You must now create a plan. You cannot simply storm Viraj's mansion, for you will be crushed. Instead, consider your objectives. What is it you wish to achieve? Do you want to expose his cruelty and turn the people of Kshatrasagar against him? Or do you wish to challenge him directly once he is weakened? Understand that the goal is not just to reclaim your wife, but to dismantle the power he holds over her and others. Dev listened carefully and began formulating a strategy. He understood that Viraj valued his public image greatly. If Dev could tarnish that image by exposing his misdeeds, it could weaken Viraj's influence. Dev decided that he would start by gathering evidence of Viraj's wrongdoings, so that when the time came to confront him, he could do so with the full weight of the kingdom's eyes upon them. Covert's voice softened, but his words were no less powerful. Finally, Dev, use your resources wisely. You may not have wealth, but you have time, information, and the loyalty of those who believe in your cause. Seek out others who have been wronged by Viraj. There are always those who have suffered under a tyrant, and they will support you if you can prove you stand for justice. Knowledge of Viraj's operations, his weaknesses, his dependencies, these will serve you better than any sword or army. Dev took this to heart. He spent the next few weeks speaking to people in the kingdom who had suffered under Viraj's reign. He found merchants whose livelihoods had been ruined by the rich man's greed, and former allies who had been betrayed when Viraj no longer needed them. Slowly but surely, he built a quiet network of supporters who wanted to see Viraj's downfall. Once Dev had gathered the information and support he needed, he made his move. He began spreading word of Viraj's cruelty, letting whispers of his wrongdoings echo through the halls of power in the kingdom. At the same time, he publicly challenged Viraj, accusing him of dishonoring his family and using his wealth to oppress the people. Viraj, unable to let such an accusation go unanswered, agreed to face Dev, confident that his wealth and influence would ensure an easy victory. But Viraj was wrong. When the day came for their confrontation, many of Viraj's former allies had turned against him. Dev's careful planning and the rumors he had spread had weakened the rich man's support. When they finally met, Viraj's power was crumbling. Dev, now backed by the strength of the people and armed with the knowledge of Viraj's misdeeds, faced his enemy with confidence. The battle was swift. Viraj, stripped of his allies and exposed for the tyrant he truly was defeated. Forced to surrender, he relinquished his hold on Mira, and the people of Kshatrasagar turned against him. His once mighty empire of wealth and power crumbled beneath him, leaving him a shadow of his former self. The victory. With Mira safely by his side, Dev returned to the temple of Lord Covert to offer his thanks. "You have won," Covert said with a smile, "not because you were stronger than Viraj, but because you were wiser. Remember this always, true power comes not from wealth or influence, but from wisdom and careful preparation. You assessed your enemy, planned your strategy, and used the resources available to you. In doing so, you reclaimed what was rightfully yours and restored justice." Dev bowed deeply before Lord Covert, his heart filled with gratitude. Not only had he reclaimed his beloved wife, but he had also gained a deep understanding of the power of wisdom, patience, and strategic thinking when dealing with the enemy. From that day forward, Dev lived peacefully with Mira, never forgetting the lessons he had learned from the god of wealth and wisdom. Chapter 4, The Art of Deception. Psychological Warfare. Deception is a powerful weapon in the arsenal of those seeking to undermine their enemies. At its core, psychological warfare is about influencing the thoughts and perceptions of others, creating an environment where trust erodes and uncertainty thrives. Deceitful tactics can sap the morale of foes, leading them to question their own judgments and decisions. By planting seeds of doubt, one can destabilize even the most resolute adversaries, turning their own thoughts against them. The effectiveness of psychological warfare lies not just in the act of deception itself, but in the profound effects it has on the mental and emotional state of the enemy. Misdirection and manipulation. Misdirection is a fundamental technique in the art of deception. It involves directing attention away from the truth, often employing cunning strategies to create a smokescreen that obscures reality. Through calculated actions and carefully crafted narratives, one can lead foes down a false path, forcing them to expend energy and resources on pursuits that ultimately yield no results. This manipulation creates an atmosphere of confusion and uncertainty, leaving enemies grappling with conflicting information and unsure of their next steps. When opponents are disoriented, they become vulnerable, opening the door for strategic advantage. Building a facade. In the realm of deception, the ability to present a strong facade is crucial. Crafting a persona that exudes confidence and stability while concealing true intentions is an art form in itself. This facade serves as a shield, protecting one's vulnerabilities and strategies from prying eyes. The mastery of this technique lies in the details, the subtle cues, the body language, and the choice of words all contribute to an image that can be perceived as invulnerable. By projecting strength and assurance, one can instill fear or respect in enemies, making them wary of any confrontation. Meanwhile, behind this well-crafted mask, true intentions can be hidden, allowing for strategic planning and maneuvering. Lord Covert, in his quest to redistribute wealth and teach the arrogant gods a lesson in humility, he employed a clever strategy rooted in deception. The whole narrative begins in the celestial realms, where a group of wealthy gods reveled in their opulence. These deities, filled with pride, hoarded their riches, believing that their wealth was a sign of superiority. Their arrogance blinded them to the struggles of the less fortunate beings who dwelled in the world below. Covert, observing their selfishness, devised a plan to change their perspective and to transfer their fortunes to those in need. Covert approached the rich gods under the guise of a humble merchant seeking to trade valuable goods. He crafted an elaborate tale about an extraordinary treasure that had been discovered, a cache of gold and jewels that could far exceed their current riches. Intrigued by the prospect of even greater wealth, the gods gathered to hear more. Covert presented them with a challenge. He claimed to possess a mystical ability to turn their existing wealth into something even greater. The gods, eager to prove their superiority, eagerly accepted the challenge, blinded by their greed and arrogance. They agreed to part with a portion of their riches to see if Covert could indeed fulfill his promise. With the gods entranced by the prospect of limitless wealth, Covert revealed his true intentions. Instead of using their riches to create a new fortune, he cleverly negotiated the transfer of their gold and gems into a celestial treasury that he controlled. In this hidden realm, he repurposed the wealth, ensuring it would be distributed to the less privileged and the poor. As the gods celebrated what they believed to be an increase in their wealth, they remained blissfully unaware of Covert's true actions. They were convinced they had outsmarted him, but in reality, Covert had orchestrated a masterful deception. His cunning allowed him to take their riches without them ever realizing it, teaching them a vital lesson in humility. Through this act, Covert not only enriched the lives of the impoverished but also exposed the futility of greed. The arrogant gods were left with nothing, their pride stripped away, as they were forced to confront the consequences of their selfishness. Meanwhile, the less privileged flourished, benefiting from the wealth that had once been hoarded by the arrogant deities. In the end, Lord Covert's clever strategy not only redistributed wealth but also transformed the hearts of the gods. They learned that true richness lies not only in material possessions but in the kindness one shows to others. Covert emerged not only as the Lord of wealth and wisdom but also as a guardian of compassion, reminding all beings that generosity is the true path to prosperity. The art of deception encompasses a range of psychological tactics that can disarm and destabilize foes. Through misdirection, manipulation, and the careful construction of a facade, one can navigate the treacherous waters of conflict, maintaining control over the narrative and ensuring that one's true objectives remain shrouded in mystery. This strategy of deception not only serves to protect one's own interests but also to dismantle the resolve of those who oppose them. Chapter 5: Forming Alliances. The Power of Partnerships. In the complex landscape of conflict, forming alliances is a crucial strategy. The core idea behind building alliances is the understanding that we are seldom alone in our battles. Our enemies may pose significant challenges, but by cultivating relationships with others who share our interests, we can create a strong network that enhances our capabilities. To start, it is essential to identify potential allies. This means looking beyond surface-level connections and recognizing who aligns with your values, goals, and visions. Allies can come from various backgrounds: friends, colleagues, mentors, or even acquaintances who possess skills and insights that complement yours. Evaluating each person's strengths and weaknesses helps you build a diverse support system that empowers you to tackle challenges directly. Networking strategically. After identifying potential allies, the next step is to nurture these relationships. Networking is not just about making connections, it involves a sincere effort to build trust and rapport. Engage in meaningful conversations, share your experiences, and listen carefully to others' perspectives. By creating an atmosphere of mutual respect and understanding, you lay the foundation for a collaborative partnership. Consider how each connection can support your goals. Think about organizing gatherings or attending events where like-minded individuals come together. This fosters opportunities for shared experiences and deeper bonds. The more you invest in these relationships, the more likely they will prove valuable in times of need. Leveraging allies in conflict. When conflicts arise, the true strength of your alliances comes to light. A united front is not merely beneficial, it can be transformative. Coordinating with your allies amplifies your voice and enhances your ability to confront your enemies. This requires clear communication and shared objectives. By aligning your strategies, you create a strong coalition that is more effective than any single effort. Make use of the unique strengths of your allies to develop a comprehensive approach to conflict. For instance, one ally may be skilled in negotiation while another excels in strategic planning. Combining these talents allows you to create a nuanced strategy that addresses the various aspects of your situation. Additionally, the emotional support from a solid network can boost morale and resilience, helping you face challenges with greater assurance. The process of forming alliances is vital for overcoming enemies. By identifying potential allies, thoughtfully nurturing those relationships, and leveraging collective strengths in conflict, you pave the way toward empowerment. The strength of partnerships lies in their ability to transform challenges into opportunities, shifting the balance against those who seek to undermine you. In the face of confrontation, alliances are not just strategies, they are essential lifelines. Chapter 6: Direct Confrontation. Choosing your battles wisely. In life, the choice to confront an enemy directly is not always clear-cut. Every situation demands careful consideration. Sometimes, it is wiser to engage, while at other times, retreat may be the more prudent option. Understanding the nature of your enemy and the stakes involved can guide your decision. A direct confrontation can be a powerful tool, but it must be employed strategically. The key is to assess whether the potential rewards outweigh the risks. When to confront directly and when to retreat. Confrontation can serve various purposes, such as clarifying misunderstandings, asserting boundaries, or demonstrating strength. However, it is essential to discern the right moment for such action. If your enemy is unyielding, or if engaging them could lead to disproportionate consequences, a tactical retreat may be more beneficial. This does not signify weakness, rather, it can be a wise choice that allows for regrouping and strategizing for a more favorable encounter in the future. Strategies for direct engagement. Once the decision to confront has been made, employing effective strategies is crucial. Communication is at the heart of any confrontation. Techniques such as negotiation and persuasion can transform a hostile exchange into a constructive dialogue. Begin by establishing a calm and assertive presence. Your demeanor can set the tone for the interaction. Listen actively to your enemy's perspective, even if you disagree. This demonstrates respect and may soften their stance. Once you understand their position, articulate your own clearly and confidently. Use "I" statements to express how their actions affect you, rather than launching accusations. This fosters an atmosphere of cooperation rather than hostility. In negotiations, aim for win-win scenarios where both parties feel heard and valued. This not only resolves the current conflict but can also lay the groundwork for future interactions, reducing the likelihood of future confrontations. Handling aggression. Inevitably, confrontations can become heated. Handling aggressive tactics requires composure and strategic thinking. It is essential to recognize that aggression often stems from fear or insecurity. By maintaining your calm, you can de-escalate the situation rather than escalate it further. Responding to aggression does not mean meeting it with aggression of your own, rather, consider employing techniques such as deflection or redirection. Acknowledge the aggression without taking the bait. This might involve validating their feelings while steering the conversation back to a more rational discourse. Remember, the goal is to engage your enemy effectively without losing sight of your principles or compromising your integrity. Mastering the art of direct confrontation involves balancing assertiveness with empathy, ensuring that you navigate the complexities of conflict with wisdom and grace. In essence, direct confrontation, when approached thoughtfully, can be a transformative process. It allows for the possibility of resolution and understanding, paving the way for personal growth and stronger connections, even with those you consider enemies. Chapter 7: The Long Game. Patience and Persistence. In the ongoing struggle to overcome enemies, one essential truth stands out: success often relies on patience. The journey to conquer those who oppose us is seldom quick. It requires a steadfast commitment to the long game and a readiness to face setbacks and delays. True mastery in this area involves understanding that progress can be slow and that small victories lead to larger triumphs. Recognizing this reality encourages a mindset that values persistence over haste. It teaches us that enduring through tough times can ultimately bring significant rewards. The ability to let strategies unfold and to observe the results of our efforts is a skill that separates those who truly excel from those who merely aim high. In this context, every day matters, and every action, no matter how minor, contributes to a broader picture of success. Adapting strategies over time. As we deal with the challenges posed by our adversaries, being flexible becomes crucial. The strategies we use must change as situations evolve. Learning from setbacks is not just helpful, it is essential. Each challenge offers a chance to refine our approach and reassess what works and what doesn't. The key is to stay alert and adaptable. What is effective today may not work tomorrow, as the nature of conflict can shift dramatically. This flexibility demands a sharp awareness, a willingness to continually evaluate our tactics, and the courage to adjust when necessary. By embracing change and learning from past experiences, we strengthen our position against our enemies, ensuring we remain one step ahead in the ongoing struggle. Building resilience. At the heart of this journey is resilience, the mental and emotional strength to endure challenges. Facing enemies can be exhausting, filled with tests that push us to our limits. Building resilience involves developing a strong inner resolve capable of withstanding the pressures of conflict. This strength isn't something we're born with, it grows through experience. Confronting difficulties head-on, learning from setbacks, and emerging stronger fosters resilience. It's about keeping a clear focus on our goals, even when the path ahead is obscured by obstacles. Staying mentally strong in the face of adversity empowers us to endure hardships without losing sight of our ultimate aims. The long game requires a careful balance of patience, adaptability, and resilience. True success isn't just about quick wins but about the enduring spirit to keep going. By embracing these qualities, we position ourselves not only to confront our enemies but also to rise above them, emerging victorious in the ever-changing landscape of conflict. Chapter 8: The Aftermath of Confrontation. Evaluating Outcomes. In the wake of confrontation, it is essential to take a step back and evaluate the outcomes of the conflict. This process involves a careful examination of what transpired, considering both the strategies employed and the results achieved. Reflecting on what worked and what didn't offers invaluable insights. Did the tactics used effectively address the situation? Were the intended goals met, or did the confrontation lead to unforeseen consequences? This evaluation isn't merely about assessing success or failure, it's an opportunity for growth. It requires an honest assessment of one's actions and decisions. By analyzing the dynamics of the confrontation, who was involved, the nature of the conflict, and the responses elicited, one can begin to unravel the complex layers that define the interaction. This process can illuminate patterns in behavior and communication that might not have been apparent in the heat of the moment, allowing for a more nuanced understanding of both personal and adversarial motivations. Learning from defeat. Defeat can be a bitter pill to swallow, yet it holds the potential for profound personal development. The key lies in transforming losses into lessons that inform future engagements. Each setback can serve as a powerful teacher, offering insights into one's own vulnerabilities and areas for improvement. Instead of viewing defeat as a final outcome, it can be reframed as an integral part of the learning process. This mindset encourages a reflective approach. What went wrong? Were there signs that were overlooked? Did emotional responses cloud judgment? By dissecting the experience, one can extract valuable lessons that pave the way for more informed decisions in the future. Embracing defeat as a learning opportunity fosters resilience and prepares one for subsequent confrontations, instilling a sense of adaptability that is crucial in navigating complex relationships. Moving forward. The aftermath of confrontation is not merely a moment of reflection, it also necessitates a forward-looking approach. Strategies for rebuilding and advancing after conflict become paramount. This phase involves cultivating an environment where dialogue can flourish and trust can be restored. Establishing clear communication channels is vital, it allows for the expression of feelings and concerns that may have arisen during the confrontation. Moreover, setting actionable goals for the future is essential. This could involve establishing new boundaries, redefining roles, or even finding common ground that allows for collaboration despite past conflicts. Moving forward requires a commitment to growth and the willingness to engage with one's foes in a constructive manner, aiming for resolution rather than ongoing discord. The aftermath of confrontation is a pivotal moment in the journey of personal and relational development. By evaluating outcomes, learning from defeat, and implementing forward-thinking strategies, one can transform conflict into a catalyst for progress, paving the way for more fruitful and harmonious interactions in the future. Chapter 9, Ethical Considerations. The moral implications of conquest. In the effort to overcome one's enemies, the ethical landscape becomes complex and layered. Conquest is not merely a matter of strategy and success, it carries profound moral implications that demand careful reflection. When considering the act of conquering, it is essential to acknowledge the humanity of those labeled as enemies. Each individual has their own story, beliefs, and motivations. This recognition invites us to question the righteousness of our actions and the justifications we offer for them. The moral implications of conquest urge us to reflect on our core principles. Is victory achieved through manipulation, deceit, or undue harm truly a victory? Understanding this ethical dimension requires an honest appraisal of the means we employ to achieve our ends. Conquering enemies might yield immediate gains, but at what cost? The shadow of our actions can linger long after the dust has settled, affecting not only our enemies but also ourselves and the world around us. Balancing victory with integrity. The pursuit of victory must be carefully balanced with a commitment to personal integrity. It is easy to become entangled in the fervor of conquest, where the allure of triumph can overshadow our ethical compass. As we strategize and execute our plans, we must remain vigilant to ensure that our tactics do not compromise our fundamental values. Integrity demands that we confront the uncomfortable reality of our choices. Are we resorting to tactics that exploit vulnerabilities, or are we engaging in fair competition that respects the dignity of all involved? Maintaining integrity requires a steadfast commitment to transparency and honor, even when faced with the pressure to win at any cost. In navigating the complexities of conquest, we must constantly ask ourselves whether our actions reflect the ideals we espouse. The consequences of actions. Every decision made in the heat of conflict carries with it long-term consequences. How we choose to handle our enemies today will shape our future relationships and self-perception. Acts of aggression and hostility can sow seeds of resentment that may sprout into future conflicts. Conversely, acts of understanding and compassion, even towards those we consider foes, can pave the way for reconciliation and mutual respect. The long-term implications of our actions extend beyond immediate outcomes. They shape our legacy, influencing how we are remembered by others and how we view ourselves. As we engage with our enemies, it is crucial to consider not only the immediate results of our actions but also their lasting impact on our moral standing and the relationships we cultivate, or destroy. The ethical considerations surrounding conquest demand a profound level of introspection and awareness. The journey to victory is fraught with moral dilemmas that challenge our understanding of integrity, respect, and the consequences of our choices. As we navigate this terrain, we must strive to ensure that our actions align with the values we hold dear, recognizing that true strength lies not just in overcoming adversaries, but in doing so with honor and ethical clarity. Chapter 10, The Path to Mastery. Continual learning. In the journey toward mastery, the principle of continual learning stands as a cornerstone. This chapter underscores the significance of ongoing education and the relentless refinement of strategies. Mastery is not a destination, it is a continuous process that demands an unwavering commitment to growth. Each experience, whether a success or a setback, provides valuable lessons that contribute to one's understanding of both the self and the adversary. As one navigates through various challenges, it becomes essential to adapt and evolve. This requires an openness to new ideas, techniques, and perspectives. Engaging with diverse sources of knowledge, whether through books, mentors, or experiences, enriches one's strategic arsenal. It is through this relentless pursuit of learning that individuals can stay ahead of their foes, anticipating their moves and countering their tactics with finesse. Spiritual insights from Lord Covert. Integrating spiritual wisdom into tactical approaches elevates the practice of mastery to a higher level. Lord Covert, often associated with wealth and prosperity, imparts insights that transcend mere material gain. His teachings encourage practitioners to approach conflicts not just with tactical precision, but with a deeper understanding of the spiritual dynamics at play. This chapter explores how spiritual insights can inform strategic decisions. For instance, recognizing the interconnectedness of all beings can foster compassion, even toward one's foes. This perspective shifts the focus from defeating the opponent to understanding their motivations and fears. By applying this wisdom, one can navigate conflicts with a sense of purpose that transcends the immediate battle, aiming instead for a resolution that honors both parties' dignity. Achieving inner strength. Cultivating a mindset that transcends conflict is essential for true mastery. Inner strength is not merely about physical prowess or tactical acumen, it encompasses emotional resilience, mental clarity, and a profound sense of self-awareness. This section delves into the practices that foster such inner fortitude, meditation, reflection, and mindfulness, for instance, enabling individuals to maintain their composure even in the face of adversity. When one cultivates this inner strength, conflicts can be approached not with fear or aggression, but with confidence and strategic calm. This shift in mindset allows for clearer judgment and more effective decision-making. Rather than becoming entangled in the chaos of confrontation, a master remains centered, viewing each challenge as an opportunity for growth. The path to mastery is a multifaceted journey, characterized by continual learning, the integration of spiritual insights, and the cultivation of inner strength. As individuals embrace this holistic approach, they not only enhance their tactical capabilities but also enrich their understanding of themselves and their relationships with others. In this way, mastery becomes not just a personal achievement but a profound engagement with the world around them. Summarizing key takeaways. In this exploration of tactical wisdom, we've examined various strategies and insights essential for effectively dealing with your enemies. We emphasize the importance of understanding your opponents by recognizing their motivations, weaknesses, and tactics. This understanding allows you to tailor your approach thoughtfully. Throughout our discussion, key themes such as patience, foresight, and adaptability emerged as crucial qualities for navigating conflicts. Each strategy we explored, whether it involved building alliances or upholding ethical standards, serves as a reminder that true strength comes not just from force, but from the wisdom that guides your actions. Empowerment through knowledge. Knowledge is a powerful tool in any struggle. The insights we've shared should not only be theoretical but should also inspire you to take practical steps in your life. Real empowerment comes from applying what you've learned, turning knowledge into action. I encourage each of you to reflect on your own circumstances and think about how these strategies can help you handle conflicts with clarity and intention. Use the wisdom you've gained to strengthen your resolve and approach challenges with confidence. Final thoughts from Lord Covert. As we wrap up this discussion, I want to share an important message. Wisdom, strength, and ethical behavior are not just essential for overcoming your enemies, they are also crucial for living a fulfilling and principled life. When you face conflicts with a clear mind and strong values, you not only set yourself up for success against your foes but also promote your own personal growth and peace. May you take these lessons with you, using your knowledge thoughtfully and bravely in all your endeavors. To hear more rare books from Lord Cobura's collection of profound knowledge and spiritual wisdom, please subscribe to this channel, like, share, and leave a comment below. Thank you for visiting our channel. Many blessings to you.